Hi everyone, my name is Gabriel Soussi. I live in France and I did top 64 with Purrely at the YCS Dortmund. So I'm very happy to be on GNC's channel to show you my deck list. I will start with the main deck and I was only playing 5 purely normal summons. I think you don't need 6. So first of all, you don't want to draw 2. Even though your engine is able to discard them, it doesn't mean you want to see a break. So yeah, if your hand is better, it will help you have better moves to start with. So you want to see as many alive cards as possible in your hand, and having 5 normal summon makes it unlikely to see 2. So that's the first reason. Then I think Purrely is overrated. It's not a good card to hard draw, neither going first or second. So yeah, I'm only playing 2 of it. And for the grind game, I don't think you need more. And if you need more, you will have the trap card that is able to return them in the deck. So I don't see any reason to play more. Pot of Prosperity is also a way you can see them, so you will never miss normal summons going first. And the Continue is also a card that can help you dig into them if you really need. When you go first, if you have like engine cards but no normal summons, you can also do Purrely, access Purrely and normal summon Purrely. That helps you to put more level 1s on the board because I'm playing Unseen Blue. I'll show it later. And it's also why the deck is so good right now. So it's very important to access the normal summon if you don't have it. Then I'm also playing 3 field spell. Helps to play around Imperm, but makes also the board bigger and harder to beat. Helps with the grind game, is also a very good card. When you beat the opponent win condition, then they have cards that target as little interruptions. This is also a very good card to play with. And it helps using your battle phase as a resource. Those two helps, so you can crash an XYZ, get back a monster or summon from the deck, and then get back your quick spells and continue playing. That's also how you win in going second. Pot of Prosperity as 3 is either the field spell or a normal summon or a quick spell, which I play the maximum amount obviously, so 3-3, 3-1. And it also helps the deck with an issue that I don't see a lot of people talk about, but is probably the biggest issue of Purrely right now, is the fact that it doesn't have that many good engine cards. The fact that Delicious is limited makes it so the deck has only, I think it's 19 playable engine cards, and I'm not talking about the trap, which is not helping, it's only an engine brick, of course. So the fact that you can play more by adding Prosperity makes it from 19 to 22, which is a lot better to see triples of it, because you want to see three engine cards per hand. There's also a card that helps, is Cross Out. To play around hand traps, you want to see 3 engine cards, and Cross Out can be the 3rd engine cards if you already have 2. So it's also a card that helps you have more consistency through hand traps. That's also why I'm playing it. The fact that I'm cutting 1 Purrely helps me play more free spots, and you'll see that my free spots lineup is very centered into going second, even though I pick first when I can. When I win the dice roll, I'm going first. But I don't think you need free spots going first with Purrely. The free spots that are not playable, I will discard them to make more card advantage with my Purrely and then end up on Unseen Blue. And yeah, so the cross out going second are still alive because a lot of people are on Eclipse, Imperm or Ash. So it will help you push through those little interruptions once you beat the win condition. So that's also why it's in the deck. So that's for the, let's say, going first card / engine. And then for the free spots to beat the win condition of my opponent, I'm playing 1 Imperm. So of course it's a crossout target. It's not that great in the format, but I also like the fact that it's a hand trap. Helps me with having more hand traps in my deck because there are a lot of combo decks, and you see a lot of decks right now not playing any hand traps. That means when they go second against decks like Vanadium or even Tearlament, they just cannot win. Having a little bit of hand traps helps you beat those decks when they have weaker hands or like average hands, and you have a good hand with a hand trap. So that's also a good reason to play it, but it's mainly a crossout target. Then I'm playing 3 Ash. It's very important to play Ash in the deck because it helps you going second. It's a very good card right now because of the fact that it's good in every matchup. I mean, it's not amazing in every matchup, but it's playable in every matchup. It has some impact, but it's also helping you going first to make your board better because you can draw into it with the Sleepy. So if you could play free spots that are alive to draw with Sleepy, you will play the maximum amount of it, but Ash is the only one that's really good right now, so that's why you only have Ash to draw with your Sleepy, and it's already so likely to draw it when you draw 6 cards, so like it's already enough in my opinion. And I'm playing Shifter as my third hand trap, so that's 7. Shifter is not a card that a lot of players are playing main deck in Purrely, but I think going first you can do setups where you can activate it, even though it's like not your go-to, but in some matchups, if you know you're playing against a deck that's like very weak to Shifter, you can do a weak board and end up on nothing in your graveyard and activate Shifter, and that works. Like you activate a quick spell and then go into Daily Shoes, get back the quick spells, and it works, for example. Also, when you go second, it's probably the best card of the format right now. Flounderies is a very weak deck, and it exists only on the fact that this card is playable in the deck. Purrely is not the best user of Shifter. You cannot just throw Shifter away, and like you cannot just use it and then play your whole engine like nothing happened. But if you time it correctly in specific matchups, it will do your opponent wrong, and then you'll be able to use your battle phase with the happiness, etc., to get back at card advantage and set up a noir, etc. So it's a very good card right now, and that's also a reason why I'm playing Purrely. That's probably the reason why. Then I'm playing those 5. So those 5 are very good in my opinion. So it's board breakers. I don't like Eclipse that much. I prefer Book of Moon when I can, of course, because it doesn't get ashed. But the issue is that right now you have so many decks where Eclipse is just much better than Book of Moon to open against, so you gotta play Eclipse. It's also a better card going first, probably. Lightning Storm is not alive going first, but I'm discarding it if I open it to set up the Ensemble, which I'm doing every turn if I can. And that also increased the amount of cards that are good against Unchained. I mean against the XYZ, which is the card that is problematic. You can probably beat the whole board if you just Book of Moon the XYZ. Then if you have a good engine hand, you're able to play through it against an average player. So that's doing 3 Eclipse, 1 Imperm against the XYZ. Game 1, they put it in attack mode. I mean, at least before, maybe now they'll put it in defense, I don't know. So maybe that's something you can change, but Lightning Storm works because you'll use it, destroy the XYZ and the Link 2 against Unchained, and then they'll have to reborn the Link 2, etc. So that's also a very good card against the Unchained setup. And Shifter works also against Unchained game 1, because usually when they get Shifter, they put Machinex up and not the Caesar, because they'll think that you're playing Flounderies. So at the time, because my decklist was not out yet, people didn't know that I was playing this with Shifter, so they thought I was on Flounderies, and when I used Shifter, they were probably going to not end up on the XYZ, and even if they do, any combination works to beat the XYZ. If I open this plus this, they are not able usually to set up the XYZ. If I open this with this, I can destroy it. This with this, it works. This with this, etc., etc. And that also makes more cards to be a free spot out of my pot. So my pot is able to dig into a free spot by playing Shifter, Eclipse, and Imperm. So yeah, that's also a reason why I'm playing those. Alright. Then for my extra deck, so the fact that I'm playing that many going second cards that are not alive going first makes it so I needed to find a way for my Noir to be enough on the board, and it was never enough. Against Tearlament, for example, they can break your boards pretty easily. Even Unchained, if they open a TTT or a PTT, they could beat you pretty easily. So I played Ensemble, which is probably the best card of my extra deck right now. You set up Noir plus Ensemble, and during the opponent, your Noir is gonna be very hard to beat, because the thing you want to do is stay alive. If you stay alive, you do so much card advantage that you will beat them the next turn without any issue. And the Ensemble force them to enter battle phase to beat it. Otherwise, you'll be able to detach cards, etc., to bounce their stuff. Also, like, they have troubles putting monsters on board without your Ensemble having value. For example, if they do normal summon Tour Guide, they will summon either Rhino or Aruha, and you can bounce it. That's already a bounce. Then they enter battle phase, beat it, but you still have Noir. Or you can bounce the normal summon they did during the battle phase, and you're still safe of TTT, for example. Yeah, so that just makes interruptions before your Noir is used that makes it better against TTT, and that makes your board bigger, and it gives value to the free spots that are bad going second, etc. So yeah, that card was amazing. And so of course I'm playing 2 Purrely Noir, and I'm playing 1 Plump, 1 Noir, 2 Beauty, 2 Happiness, and that's it for the Purrely monsters. Then I was playing, I don't know the name of this card in English, Downerd I think, and Zeus. Those 2 were like mandatory to play because in some setups that's what's gonna help you, but to be honest, I never summoned them. Usually when you summon them, either you lost already, or it means you misplayed before, because your battle phase has so much value and you will always do better by crashing your monsters or attacking with a Happiness than doing a Zeus. Also, the fact that Element is in the format makes Zeus a lot weaker. It was very good in the Kashtira format, but it's like a lot weaker right now. I'm playing Anima and Azalea. Helps you to play through There Can Be Only One, because you can like turn a fairy into a spellcaster, summon another fairy, goes into Azalea, and get rid of the There Can Be Only One. That costs a lot of cards, obviously, but it's an out that works. Anima is also very important against decks like Salamangreat, Unchained. Every deck that's giving you a zone, Anima makes the matchup a lot easier. And it's the reason why you have a chance against Unchained when they have the whole setup and you have like a book. You can normal summon a Purrely, makes value out of it, then turn it into an Anima that baits either the trap or the Link 2, and then from that point your engine goes through pretty easily. So yeah, those cards are very important. And then I'm playing Entes and the Evil Twin card because I'm playing Ultimate Slayer in my side, and I don't want to ruin my side deck by playing those in my side deck, and I have spots in my extra deck. To be honest, the extra deck is very wide right now, so that's not an issue. In my side deck, I'm playing 3 Ultimate Slayer and the Break. That's so good right now because it helps you against so many matchups. I'm very happy that I played it, because when you play against stuff like Rescue Ace, etc., those type of deck you don't really prepare against, this card is covering them as well, and you can play it against Unchained. Because you're playing Purrely, they cannot really play around it. If they do the Link 2 setup, you bounce the Link 2 and you then get rid of the XYZ with this. If they don't do the Link 2 setup, they play around it, you just send an XYZ and bounce the XYZ they have. So it's not like it's a dead card. If they play around it, it will always get rid of the XYZ, which is great. And it helps against the rogue matchup. You can still put it in against Chimera, against Element. It's a very good card right now, in my opinion. Then I'm playing 3 Droll and Lockbird. Very good card against the less represented decks, like Manadiums, etc. Helps you to have 1 more card you can draw into with the Sleepy when you're going first. So it's also a card that you can put in instead of dead cards post side going first. That's very important, and it helps you against combo decks, which is like the biggest fear every good players have. So yeah, that's a reason to play it. Then I'm playing XYZ in Core. That's specifically in the mirror. I just wanted a card against the mirror because I think my main deck is already very good in the mirror, but having 1 more card that's so impactful makes sense in my opinion. And because I'm playing Shifter, Lightning Storm, Eclipse, etc., those type of cards in my main deck, I had a lot of space in my side deck to be prepared very well against every matchup, to play specific cards and not like generic cards that could be weaker in specific situations. This is just for Unchained, literally just putting more cards against Unchained. I had more spots post side. And the Nekomane, which is a cat, so it's literally a Purrely cards. And I mean, it's a card you want to play if you have the spots for it in your side deck. It's so good against Element. It's not a card you need to draw. You can just have it in your deck, and they are feared to mill. If they do mill, when you mill it, you just win straight on the spot, and it works going first and second. I also sided in against Infernable when they go Dolphin and discard 1 card of your hand. If you have only Nekomane King in your hand, they have to destroy it, and then it's their end phase and you straight up win. So yeah, it was mostly against Element, of course. Going first and second, it works, but it could help me in weird situations, so yeah, that's also appreciated. Yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Was a pleasure, guys, and see you soon on different channel, but maybe the GNC ones. See you.